Hi, I'm Karla Leggett, and I'm a reading recovery teacher in the Oshkosh Area School District. And I have been teaching reading recovery now for 5 years. I was trained under the I-3 grant with the Fox Valley Consortium. Prior to becoming a reading recovery teacher, I was a speech therapist in the medical field. And then I went into the schools as a speech therapist. And while I did that, I was pursuing my reading specialist degree, which then brought me to being a reading recovery teacher. Today, I want to talk about how reading recovery has changed my life. There are two main factors that I'd like to share with you as to how reading recovery has changed my life. The first is that because of reading recovery, I am a reflective practitioner. Because of the training and the ongoing professional development, it has helped me become a very reflective practitioner in what I do. During my training year, it was very humbling, it was overwhelming, it was wonderful, and it was challenging to be in my training year. It sticks out to me when we say that you're flying an airplane while you're building it during your training year. But as part of the training, we are actually working with reading recovery students as we learn how to be a reading recovery teacher. So our teacher leader is there. We're taking classes. Our teacher leader is there to coach and support us, coming to visit me and talk me through any trouble spots that I have and give me feedback with my lessons. Also during my training year, I'm doing lessons in front of other reading recovery teachers that are also training to be certified. And they're watching me do the lesson. So throughout this, I'm constantly being called to reflect on feedback about my teaching, being asked to think and reflect about my student, deeply about my student, using data and looking at my records and looking at my teaching, and also to think and reflect about maybe something that I watched somebody else, another reading recovery teacher, do that could help me as a teacher with my students. Not only am I asked to reflect, but I'm also then asked to take that reflection and do something with it, apply it, and try to make a shift with a student. So the call to be a reflective practitioner doesn't happen just during that training year. It also happens ongoing now over the 5 years that I've been practicing as a reading recovery teacher. We do this through continued professional development. We do it through, we still do live lessons. And in those continued professional development sessions, classes, we are still problem solving around a student. I'm able to talk with other reading recovery teachers and they can give me feedback. We can look at my records. I can look at my own records and again, reflect on my teaching in order to help improve and make a change with the student. We're also supported with ongoing now, even being out of my training year, through access to my teacher leader and colleague visits. I have colleagues that can come visit me in a group. I can have a colleague come visit me one-on-one and watch me do a lesson and provide feedback for me about ways I could help a child. So reading recovery has changed my life through my training and teaching of reading recovery students. This in a way that the second reason is that I view students under the lens of can. What can my students do and not can't or cannot do? Through my medical training and my special education training as a speech language therapist, the paradigm really is to assess and figure out what's wrong or what a person cannot do, and then do everything that you can to improve them, to fix it. If a person has a speech problem, I was trained to look for what is wrong, to assess for what's lacking, and fix it. Reading recovery training and teaching has really taught me, and it really has taught me, like it has forced me to be intentional with my way of thinking and looking at students, thinking about students in the terms of what can they do versus what can they not do. And we still talk about what a student has trouble, is not firm with, and can't show us quite yet, the power of yet. And but mostly, when I look at a student now, I am definitely always looking for what they can do first, because I know now that we use what a student can do to help them get to new learning, and that's a very powerful thing. So recently, I came across a video with Gillian Anderson, and she's an actress, but she was honored as an honorary fellowship for the Institute of Education in the United Kingdom. And there was a speech that I watched her give, advocating for reading recovery. And in the speech, she went on to talk about how her son has had trouble reading and was seen as a reading recovery student. And she talks about how kids that struggle with reading for whatever reason, whether it's environmental, whether it was something that they're born with, get the short straw. And that reading recovery is, in her words, what reading recovery provides is a choice and a chance. I am a reading recovery teacher that has the honor and privilege to be able to offer any student that needs literacy help the choice and the chance to become a literate human being. I'm a reading recovery teacher that can be the chance for a child to succeed. I take the gift of being a reading recovery teacher as being a special and powerful gift to be used with great care and compassion. Everything that I do now, even in interacting with my own children, I'm always looking for what is it that my children have and need, and where are they on that scale of help? The idea of where are they and how can I help them improve and be better people? And it's hard to explain to people that are not reading recovery trained as to how it changes you as a human being. So I'm grateful for being a reading recovery teacher. I'm grateful for the ongoing professional development that I receive. And as the years have gone by, every year I learn something new about myself as a teacher. And I learned more ways of honing my craft, the craft of being a reading recovery teacher. So thank you, Reading Recovery. I'm grateful.